Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to write code for receiving a new message. So inside our room functions, room actions, I'm going to create a new function here. Let's minimize these. Const find connected user. We are going to receive a user ID inside this. And all we are going to do is we are going to find inside the users array user ID is equals to the user ID which we are sending inside the parameters. So now let's import this function inside our server. Let's export it first. So now inside our send new message event, what we are going to do is after our send message function is called, we are going to first of all find for the user. We are going to check if the user is online. So const receiver socket. We are going to call find connected user. So the user which we are going to find is message sent to user ID. So again, we want to send the message to the other user. So we're going to look for him on our server. And we are going to check if receiver socket. So this means that the user is online. We are going to use io.to receiver socket dot socket ID. And we are going to emit new message received. And we are going to send in the new message with it. Else, if receiver socket is not there, we are going to create a function for this. So let's create this inside message actions. Const set message to 100. Again, it is going to be an async function and we're going to receive the user ID. Inside try catch, if there is any error, I'm just going to log the error. Inside the trial block, we are going to find the user. So we're going to need the user model for this. So wait user model dot find by ID, the user ID which we are sending, and we're going to check if not user dot unread message. So if you remember inside the user model, we have this property unread message. It is again a boolean. We are going to set it to true. So if it is false, user dot unread message is equals to true, and await user dot save. And we're going to return. So now let's export this function. Set message to 100. And let's import this inside our server. So if receiver socket is not there, we're going to call await set message to 100. And then we are going to pass in the user ID. Again, it is going to be message sent to user ID. So this user should know that there was a message sent to him and he has not read it. So he has to open the messages page. So now I'm going to explain what we did here. I am sure you must know that we are sending the message and then we are finding connected user. So this basically means that when we are setting a connection, adding the user inside the users array on our server. So if I go to the message page here and if I open the edge, so I have two users logged in, Inder and Jane. And if I go to the messages page here and also on this one, and if I go to my server, you can see we have a log of two users with the user ID and socket ID. So when we are calling this connected user function, find connected user, we are checking if user.user ID is equals to user ID which we are passing. So basically we are finding the user with this user ID. And if he is there, so right now he is there, the user ID whom we are sending the message. So this is going to return us the object and we have the socket ID alongside it. So this will return us the object and we are going to send the message to this socket ID. And we are using here io.to because when you want to send a message to a particular socket, so when you are sending a message, you only want to send that message to that one user to whom you are sending. You do not want to send the message to all the users inside the room. So here I'm going to add a comment. When you want to send message to a particular socket. So this will only send the message to the user who you want to send. io.to receiver socket dot socket id. And we are emitting the event new message received and sending in the new message alongside it. Else we are calling this function so that the unread message is set to true. And in the side menu, if you remember, just like unread notification, it is going to set the icon to orange and it is going to point a finger that there is an unread message. And after all of this is done, we are simply just calling the socket.emit new message, message sent, and passing in the new message alongside it. So this socket.emit is basically for the sender, the user who has made this request. This receiver socket is basically the user who we want to send the message. If he is there, we are going to emit the message only to him, io.to and .emit. Else, we are going to calling this function. And now we are going to listen for this inside our client. So let's save here. I'm going to copy this new message received event and let's minimize all this inside our messages page. So inside this socket, confirming message is sent and receiving the messages. Make sure you are inside the if check. So where we're going to write socket.current.on new message received async, and inside this again we are going to receive the new message, and inside this we are going to check if the user who has sent you message is the chat we have opened. So if new message dot sender is equals to open chat id dot current. So again this means that if the user who has sent you message, that chat is opened inside your browser. So then we are going to set the messages previous and we're going to return an array, spread the previous and add in the new message inside the array, and we're going to again call the setChats function previous. So we're going to look for the previous chat, previous dot find, and this time we are going to compare it to new message of sender. Here we were comparing new message dot receiver. So this time you have to think as you are the receiver. Inside your browser, the chat with the sender is going to be opened. And again we are going to set the previous chat dot last message is equals to new message dot msg, and also we're going to add the date here dot date. It is going to be new message dot date, and again we're just going to return the previous. So this case is when you have the chat opened. I'm going to add a comment here. When chat is opened inside your browser. So this case will work when the chat is opened inside your browser with that sender. But what if you do not have that chat opened, you have a chat with anyone else opened, but the user sends you a message. So now we're going to write code for that. We are going to add an else block here. And inside this, let's scroll this down. So else, if the chat is not opened inside your browser, we are going to check if you have a chat previously with this user. So const if previously messaged. So chats dot filter chat and chat dot messages with is equals to new message dot sender, and we're going to check if its length is greater than 0. So again, if previously message, this basically means that there is a chat you have with this user inside this column. There is only one chat right now, but we want to have multiple chats here. So if previously messaged, we are going to simply again call the setChats function previous, and again we're going to have curly brackets here. We are going to find the previous chat just like we did here in this case. Const previous chat, previous dot find chat, and chat dot messages with is equals to new message dot sender. Again, I'm just going to copy this from here. So again, we are returning the previous from here. This is the case if previously messaged. If you are messaged from a user with whom you do not have any previous chat, we are also going to write code for that case. Else, So else, if we do not have any chat with this user, if there is no chat inside this column previously, first of all, we're going to call our function await get user info. The ID here is going to be new message dot sender, and we're going to receive the name and profile pic URL. So after this function is called, we're going to create a new chat object. Inside this, we're going to have a messages with property. It is going to be new message dot sender. After this, we're going to have a name. So it is going to be ES6 syntax here, profile pic URL. And after that, let's move it to new line. We're going to have the last message. It is going to be new message dot msg message, and the date is going to be new message dot date. So if you do not remember why we are using these properties, if I go to my API for chats, if you remember when we were creating this get all chats function, we are sending these properties to our front end, and we are using these properties inside this column for chats, right here. So now we are creating this new chat, and we're going to call our set chats function previous. Inside this again, we're going to return an array, but we are going to add the new chat to the top, and then we're going to spread the previous. So the user who has sent you a new message, new chat, is going to be on the top of the array. And now if we refresh, go back to the client. So here if I send a new message, hey, my name is Jane Doe, and send. So it is not working. Let's see. But it is message sent is working, message receiving is not working. You can see the chat is changed and messages is added. Oh, I added this new message received inside this event right here. So this is inside these brackets. So we're not going to do that. It is going to be a separate event. It is going to be till these brackets right here. So let's copy it from here, cut it from here, and cut. And outside these events bracket, we're going to create a separate event for this and save. So now we are inside this socket.current check, but we are outside this socket.current.on message sent. So this is going to be a separate event. Now if I refresh, go back and refresh. So now we have the message, my name is Jane Doe. We're going to reply back, hey, my name is Inder. And now you can see the message sent from here. We're going to work on the auto scroll in the next video. For now, we have received the message here. Also, you can see it is being shown inside this chat right here. And again, I'm shooting this on 13th February. So tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. So you can see right now we have not being shown the message here. I'm going to send it and keep an eye on this chat column right here and this one too. And you can see we get the message, and we are going to work on the auto scroll. So div is going to scroll automatically when there is a new message, and you can see the message received in real time. We are not refreshing the page. And let's send message back. Thank you. Same to you. Whatever it is. And send again. And we get the message here. And also you can see the message is more than 20 characters. So we are cutting off the text on 20 characters. We were using the substring method, if you remember, inside the chat. We set the substring on 20 characters, and after that we added the 3 dots. So this message is more than 20 characters. So after you, 3 dots are being added to show that the more message is there. So now I want to make a sound when a new message arrives, and also we are going to change the document title here. We are going to type new message from the sender name. So in back to VS Code, inside utils, I'm going to create a new file, new message sound.js, and inside this we're going to create a function new message sound. We're going to receive the sender name inside this. So const sound new audio. This audio is inside a public folder, so we can simply refer it as slash and light.mp3. So I have added it inside the public folder. This is just a bell sound which will tell the user that there is no notification. So after this, if sound and sound.play, and after this, if sender name, document dot title is equals to inside template strings new message from inside dollar sign and curly brackets sender name. And after this, we're going to check if document dot visibility state is equals to visible. So this means that if the document is opened, no other user is not active on the other tab, this tab is opened. Set timeout, and after like 5 seconds, we're going to change the document dot title back to messages. So now let's export this function. And import this inside messages. And now inside the use effect for receiving the message on the event of new message received, this one right here, I'm going to create a variable let sender name and make sure it is on the top before any if else statement. So if new message.sender is equals to openchat_id.current, inside this set chats, the sender name here is going to be previous chat.name. So we have the name of the user with whom we have the previous chat inside this array right here. So sender name is going to be previous chat.name. I'm going to copy this. If previously messaged, we have it inside this set chats array again. Sender name is equals to previous chat.name. And else, when we are getting the user info from the backend, sender name is equals to name. So we're receiving this from a backend. And after this, before the closing of this new message received, so these brackets are here. Here we're going to call new message sound, pass in the sender name. So this function will be called on this event right here, new message received. So now if I go back and refresh, so now if I send a message, where do you live? And now you can see we have this document title new message from Jane and also sound is made and USA, and here too you can see new message from Inder and USA, and here you can see it changes after 5 seconds. I live in India, and again new message from Jane Doe. So now what I'm going to do is log out from Inder and I'm going to log in as John Doe now. So right now you can see I do not have any chat with John Doe inside Jane Doe's window. So johndoe@gmail.com and 1 2 3 4 5 6. So now I go to the messages window for John Doe. I'm logged in as John Doe on the right side and Jane Doe on the left side. If I go to the messages and go to the terminal, we have both the users online. So you can see right here we have 2 logged users. And if I go to the Chrome and Edge, and I'm going to search for Jane Doe here, and I'm going to send a message to her. So right now I do not have any chat, so hi, and you can see I get a message from John Doe and it is moved to the top of the array and we get a sound. And if I click on this, you can see we have a message and I'm going to reply back, hey John, and send. You can see we get a message, hey John, and new message from Jane Doe, and also the time, everything. And it is also updated here in the chat column. So this case, when there is a new chat created, this is this case right here. Else, and we are finding for the info and creating a new chat. If we had a chat already, this if previously messaged, that means that chat would have been already inside this column. But John Doe's chat was not there. So we created a new chat inside this case. So this was all for this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you how we're going to scroll this div automatically when there is a new message. So I will see you there.